This video is to show how, simply just to show how to print or reprint royalty statements. So after you have generated all your transaction, closed income statements, payments, and so forth, and then generated royalty statements, then you're ready to print statements. Under publishing, statement processing, you have the print statements menu. There's a bunch of different options on how to print based on selection criteria. Most of the time you're going to probably either print a specific client or print by specific royalty period. Specific client obviously just wants you to put the date in there and then select a client number. You can do it through the selection list like you normally would, and then hit print, and this prompt will come up. This is customizable. I'll show that at the end of the video. We're just going to do print by video right now, and you just say OK. And it's generating the data for the PDF and the report, and eventually we'll bring it up on the screen. And there's the royalty statement for the individual client. And close this out. And where that ends up, if you didn't want to have to reprint it or you want to store it, it ends up in the statements folder, and under the SR you'll see all your statements under here in the PDF form, or if they're in CSV export, so you can find them under SR statements. So that's the quickest, easiest way to print a statement. If you go down to the same place and then go to print specific period, same thing, you're going to put in a date. You can set up report groups, which I'll show in a different video, but we want to blank that out right now. And then you're just going to hit print. You can do them by name or by client order. I'm not going to do it now because it'll run forever, and it'll print one PDF with all the clients in there. But if you wanted to print all the client PDFs or all the client files and have individual files, then you're going to print PDF for each client. So if you say you have 100 clients, you click this, you'll get 100 PDFs in that statement file, one for each client. Sometimes there's issues that come up, and it gets interrupted, power outage, failure, and error, and simply royalties. Rather than having to reprint them all, you can pick up where you left off on this one. It's a little hidden right here, but it says PDF for clients not printed. So then you just hit, and it would run. And so that's the second most popular way you're probably going to do it. The other ones, basically the same, just different selection criteria. So if you have more than one payer in your system and you want to just do one payer at a time, then you'll be able to select the payer here, still put in the date, reporting group if you need to, and then the same print options. It doesn't currently have the option to print to individual PDFs. That'll be added soon. Client hold is just if you want to print a client that you have on hold, elsewise it'll get skipped. Stephen. And then the last option is client type. This is if you want to just print all your different, like a publisher or just writers, or the different client types you have set up. You can print by the individual client type. Another way, if you wanted to print just simply by the client again, one at a time, but you don't want to have to keep going back and forth into this screen here, you can actually go into the admin screen. Takes a minute to come up, and then you can filter by publisher, by client, or by date. We're going to do it by date this time. Your period, in period date. So now you see all of them are up there. Then you're just going to simply highlight and print, and it brings up that same screen, and you hit print, and it's going to prompt you this and print away, or generate and create the PDF. last thing, or not quite the last thing I'll show you, but there's another admin screen that's sort of helpful. If you same under here, and then you go to this admin list, preview royalty statement admin list. You get a list of all the statements that you already printed based on filter criteria. In this case, same thing. We have the 6/30/2020. Now these are the ones already printed. It has a file name associated with it. So rather than having to regenerate, you could just highlight and hit print preview, and it pops right up now because it's already been generated. It doesn't have to go through all that process. You can also email from here if you have the email set up. The last thing is under administration, system setups, system defaults. If you go to the royalty statements, client defaults, sorry. Down here it says royalty statement file format. When it's set to prompt user, you get the prompt that we saw earlier that allows you to select what you want, but you can also default it to PDF only. You won't get prompted. If you want them both and don't want to be prompted, you can just PDF and CSV. It'll generate both, and same with the CSV. If you don't always want to print both or one or whatever, then you just leave it on prompt user and it'll prompt you for what you want to actually do. And then once you've done, just hit save. And that's it.